Welcome, everybody. We are ready to begin our ceremony. Please go ahead and take your seats. The graduates are here, and they are going to process in.
This year, we worked rigorously as a grade to develop the quality musical showcase Moana within a limited amount of time, and our class came together and performed with excitement and amazing energy. Rafa and Ashna now carry the Moana scripts to the altar. They will signify our class's dedication and effort to perform a full-scale musical at its best.
These are two of FXW charisms. They are a school that is both diverse and inclusive and a community of faith. FXW is a unique Catholic school that enthusiastically embraces all religions and faiths. Kidzali, Lauren, Ryan, and Gio now bring forth symbols of faith: a menorah, a cross, a statue of the the Hindu god Ganesha, and calligraphy representing the holy name of Allah. These symbols are a testament to how FXW not only welcomes but also affirms all faiths and belief systems.
My name is Sydney Rehal. Aaliyah and Patrick are bringing forth a surface tablet, art supplies, and other academic materials that we have used as tools of learning. As one of FXW's charisms, a strong academic program has fueled the hardworking class of 2025. These symbols represent how our class has worked diligently to excel in all of our academic and specials classes.
Another of FXW's charisms is service to those in need. Throughout the school year, students in the 8th grade class have volunteered at various institutions in order to serve our community. Harper and Willa carry forward a Misericordia plaque and candy, symbols of both FXW's longtime partnership with Misericordia, as well as the class of 2025's generosity in giving back to the less fortunate.
"19 high school logos are being brought forth by Jack and Donovan. This collage signifies the payoff of hard work during the strenuous and challenging high school process. The students in the FXW class of 2025 have been well prepared for our next academic chapters. We will scatter to many different high schools where we will pursue amazing futures."
My name is Graham Collins. The class of 2025 is filled with many different athletes and academic competitors who have displayed leadership, teamwork, and sportsmanship. We have participated in a variety of academic competitions and athletic teams. Nyla and Tyson are bringing sports jerseys and a trophy to the altar. They represent how 8th graders have successfully represented FXW outside its walls.
Let us build a house where love can dwell and all can safely live. A place where saints and children tell how hearts learn to forgive. Built of hopes and dreams and visions, rock of faith and vault of grace. Here the love of Christ shall end divisions. All are welcome, all are welcome, all are welcome in this place. Let us build a house where prophets speak and words are strong and true, where all God's children dare to seek to dream God's reign on you. Here the cross shall stand as witness and as symbol of God's grace. Here as one we claim the faith of Jesus. All are welcome, all are welcome, all are welcome in this place.
Good afternoon, welcome, where all are welcome. Now, this most significant, blessed day, we honor the good work of our 8th grade graduate students, the completion of their years at Francis Xavier Ward School. And together, let us pray. Fill us, Creator God, with your holy and loving light. We ask for blessing upon each and every one of the talented graduates in the FXW class of 2025. While many special awards and achievements earned by 8th grade students this past school year we share today, we always remember that each and every graduate has blessed our school with both their talents and their generous spirits. Much like the graduating class of 2025, may all the students of Francis Xavier Ward School be inspired to live out their life and love for you, loving Lord, their service, their kindness, compassion, and mercy. Bless us as we celebrate the class of 2025 today. We ask you this through your holy name, forever and ever. Amen. Please be seated.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. I may speak in different languages of men or even angels, but if I do not have love, then I am only a noisy bell or a ringing cymbal. I may have the gift of prophecy, I may understand all secret things of God and all knowledge, and I may have faith so great that I can move mountains. But even with all these things, if I do not have love, then I am nothing. I may give everything I have to feed the poor, and I may even give my body as an offering to be burned. But I gain nothing by doing these things if I do not have love. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous, it does not brag, and is not proud. Love is not rude, it is not selfish, it does not become angry easily. Love does not remember wrongs done against it. Love takes no pleasure in evil, but rejoices over the truth. Love patiently accepts all things. It always trusts, always hopes, and always continues strong. Love never ends. There are gifts of prophecy, but they will be ended. There are gifts of speaking in different languages, but those gifts will end. There's the gift of knowledge, but it will be ended. But these three things continue forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. The word of the Lord.
Lord, send out your Spirit and renew the face of the earth. Lord, send out your Spirit and renew the face of the earth. Bless the Lord, O my soul, O Lord my God, you are great indeed. How manifold are your works, O Lord, the earth is full of your creatures. Lord, send out your Spirit and renew the face of the earth. Lord, send out your Spirit and renew the face of the earth. If you take away their breath, they die, and they return to their dust. When you send forth your Spirit of life, they are created in your sight. Lord, send out your Spirit
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. A charism is defined as any good gift that flows from God's love to humans. We view our charisms as the gifts that FXW gives to its families and students. We are a community that is motivated by faith to serve others. We are a community that gives students, regardless of their faith or culture, many opportunities to put their beliefs into practice. At every grade level, students apply classroom knowledge to service projects for local agencies that affect positive change in the community while showing them that they can make a difference in the world around them. Through the Living the Legacy service project, students meaningfully and consistently lend a helping hand to the Chicago community. Our graduating students have performed 1,910 hours. Now please give a generous applause to all the 8th grade loved ones and teachers who have supported them through the years. I also want to give a special thanks to Ms. Myra for adding all the service hours to the parent portal. Thank you, Ms. Dimmitt, for coordinating our day of service. Thank you, Beth Amentagello, our Living the Legacy and Volunteer Coordinator, for offering ongoing service opportunities to our students. And lastly, thank you, Ms. Van Sickle, for posting all these opportunities on Canvas. We want to acknowledge students who went above and beyond their service requirements this school year. Students, if your name is called, please come forward to be recognized and remain standing. Sofia Fajardo. Sydney Heathfield. EVA Ihuema. Alistair Angel. And Victoria Sachs. I want to now invite Sofia Fajardo to the podium. Sofia exceeded her service hours and will share her experience with us.
Good afternoon. My name is Sofia Fajardo. I am honored to speak today about something that's become really important to me throughout the past couple of years, service. When I first started volunteering, I didn't think much of it or what it truly meant, what the real purpose was. But over time, service has taught me more than I would have ever expected. It has shown me the power of giving back. It has helped me see the world beyond my own worries. But it has also reminded me how a small act of kindness and selflessness can truly brighten someone's day. Throughout the year, I have volunteered with various organizations. However, I've spent the most time at a program called Sunday Night Suppers hosted by my church. My family and I originally signed up last year so that I could get more involved in service and get my hours, but I had no idea that it would become a regular part of my weekly routine and what an impact it would make on my life. On Sunday evenings, our church welcomes about 150 to 200 unhoused or food insecure guests every single week. We serve food, drinks, and a safe and welcoming environment for people to enjoy themselves. It's great to see how the guest mood completely shifts from when they walk through the door to when they sit down with their friends. At the beginning, people walk in cold, hungry, and most of the time alone. But as the evening goes on, the room lights up with joy as they're surrounded by food and friends. 8th grade has been a very difficult year, as many of you know. Hard classes, high school process, but also knowing that our time at FXW is coming to an end very shortly. Going to Sunday night suppers allowed me to escape all of that stress, but it also helped me realize that there are people going through much worse, and it made me feel good about helping others. All of the service that I have done throughout the year has taught me leadership skills, but it has also helped me realize the positive impact that my work can have on my community. Service isn't about earning hours or winning an award. It's about making a difference no matter how big or small. It's about stepping outside of your own worries and stress and realizing that your time and your effort can truly brighten and change someone's day. I've learned that when we often end up helping others, we help ourselves. So whether you're graduating this year like me or returning to FXW next fall, I hope that we can all continue the legacy of service because the world needs more people like the FXW Jaguars. Thank you.
Make a difference, we can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference, we can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. We are the salt of the earth, called to let the people see the love of God in you and me. We are the light of the world, not to be hidden but be seen. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference, we can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference, we can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world.
Good afternoon. I have the distinct pleasure and honor of serving FXW as the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And at this moment, Dr. Guzman and I would like to take a moment to honor a group of students whose sometimes quiet, sometimes loud, and always bold leadership, courageous conversations, and unwavering commitment to justice have shaped the heart of our school community and showed us just how integral students' voices are to cultivating a culture of belonging and holding us all accountable for doing so. The student members of JEDI, Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, have lived out the very essence of our mission and charisms. They work together to gain a stronger understanding of what it looks like, feels like, and sounds like to build and maintain a community that is purposefully diverse and intentionally inclusive. These students have challenged us to grow, invited us to reflect, and reminded us that inclusion is not a destination but a daily practice. They have been advocates, bridge builders, and change makers, contributing not just with words, but with action and integrity. Today, we recognize and celebrate our graduating members of JEDI. Your impact will echo beyond your time here, and your legacy will continue to inspire those who follow in your footsteps. With deep gratitude, we now present these students with a pen engraved with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "There comes a time when silence is betrayal." Students will also receive a packet of seeds symbolizing growth, potential, and renewal. We thank them for their outstanding service to FXW's mission and charism. So when I call your name, please come forward. Nina Agarwal. EVA Ehawema. Jordan Epps. Sophia Fajardo. Gio Jumian. Nyla Kapoor. Desiree Smith. And Sophia Thayson.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Glory to you, O Lord. Then a teacher of the law stood up. He was trying to test Jesus. He said, "Teacher, what must I do to get life forever?" Jesus said to him, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" The man answered, "Love the Lord your God. Love him with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind. Also, you must love your neighbor as you love yourself." Jesus said to him, "Your answer is correct. Do this, and you will have life forever." But the man wanted to show that the way he was living was right, so he said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" To answer this question, Jesus said, "A man was going down the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. Some robbers attacked him. They tore off his clothes and beat him. Then they left him lying there, almost dead. It happened that a Jewish priest was going down that road, and when the priest saw the man, he walked by on the other side of the road. Next, a Levite came there. He went over and looked at the man, then he walked by on the other side of the road. Then a Samaritan, traveling down the road, came to where the hurt man was lying. He saw the man and felt very sorry for him. The Samaritan went to him and poured oil and wine on his wounds and bandaged them. He put the hurt man on his own donkey and took him to an inn. At the inn, the Samaritan took care of him. The next day, the Samaritan brought out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper. The Samaritan said, "Take care of this man. If you spend more money on him, I will pay it back to you when I come again." Then Jesus said, "Which one of these 3 men do you think was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by the robbers?" The teacher of the law answered, "The one who helped him." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I invite everyone to raise your right hand, parents too, and put it over your heart. And I want to take a few moments and just to allow you to feel what you feel. Your heart is beating, which is good, means you're alive. You're listening to me ask you to do this, which is good, because you're aware of what's happening. But what does the heart do for us? The heart is the place where we feel love. The heart is the place where we have hopes and dreams and sometimes fears and secrets that we don't dare to share with anyone. The heart is where our desire lies the deepest. And in this gospel that we just heard, and in the first reading from the book of the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, the heart is where we love. Because love, as I tell my couples that I prepare for marriage and the couples who bring their child to baptism, love is a choice. Love is a gift. Love is an action. We as human beings love because we were made to love. Because we were made by love. And as our 8th graders prepare to go into the world after Sunday, after they graduate, they will be invited to be love to others. They will be invited, as we hear in the gospel, to be that Samaritan person who goes and helps those in need. The story of the Good Samaritan is not known to us today because of this good person, because of what he did, but because he broke the status quo. In order to understand this gospel more deeply, we have to look at the historical practices of the time. A Samaritan and a Jewish person were not friends at that time. There was a big divide between the two groups because one said one thing and one did the other thing, and they both came from the Jewish practice. The Good Samaritan story is told today because the Good Samaritan broke the status quo. He went across the way to help the person who he did not know, who he did not understand, who he did not even know what happened, but he helped him. As our 8th graders continue to serve in these 19 high schools they will be going to in the next year, you will be invited to be like that Samaritan. To be the person who looks at someone else, regardless of who they are, where they come from, what they believe in, or what language they speak, and you'll be invited to care for them. Because the deepest desire of every person in this cathedral and watching on the live stream is every person wants to be seen, valued, and loved. Every person wants to be seen, valued, and loved. And you go out to these 4 walls in a few moments and you will see the world does not see people for who they are. They do not love people for who they are, and they do not value other people based on their skin color, the language they speak, or the place they came from. We as disciples and as people of faith, whatever tradition we find ourselves in, are called to be agents of love. Are called to put into practice what our tradition teaches us, that every person is our neighbor, every person desires to be cared for, every person has a desire to be loved. As our 8th graders have reflected over these past few weeks on their time here at FXW, they have a lot to be thankful for. Growing up in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade in the height of the pandemic, they learned how to be social. They learned how to care for each other based on who they are and where they come from, and they love each other because of that reality. They did many things together, and both 8th grade basketball teams went on to the championship game. And though you did not take home the trophy with you, you supported each other in the good times, such as the Moana cast and the Washington, D.C. trip, and in the bad times. When you lost a game, when you failed, when you didn't do well on a test, or when you had a disagreement between friends. Our heart is so unique to each and every one of us because our heart is different, but each of our hearts beat as one. Each of our hearts beat for the realization that we are all called to be like that Samaritan, whose name is not passed down in tradition, but whose actions are told in communities around the world today. As our 8th graders continue to grow into the person God calls them to be and who God made them to be, you will be invited by your faith tradition to put into practice the love of our Creator, the one who shows us how to love and how to be loved, the one who shows us that it does not matter where you come from, what you do, but what matters is how you treat other people. As Maya Angelou once said, people will often forget what you say to them or what you do for them, but they will always remember how you made them feel. That person who was cared for by that Samaritan, we don't know his name either, but we believe as people of faith that he told his story to someone else, that he told someone that this person, who I would not expect to have helped me, did help me. Who does not understand me or does not come from where I came from, they offered me oil and wine to cure my wounds and housing overnight at an inn. Our call as human beings, wherever we come from, is the call to love. And so next time you go out into the big bad world and you realize that there is no love, put your hand on your heart. Realize your heart continues to beat for other people. Your heart continues to put blood into your body so that you can share with others the gifts God has given you. The gift to care, the gift to encounter, the gift to be hospitable for. Because at the end of the day, every person has a heartbeat. Every person has a desire to be seen, valued, and loved. And each of us here this afternoon have the reality and the invitation to go and to be that love for someone else. Because without love, we are nothing. Without love, we can do nothing. Without love, there is no reason why our heart should beat. And so for our 8th grade graduating class of 2025, we support you with our prayers, with our affection, and with our love. That you may not be together again in this life until we all close our eyes on this side of heaven, we believe we are bounded by love. Love for neighbor, love for each other, and love for ourselves. Love is a gift that is meant to be shared. Love is a gift that is allowing us to put them into action by service, by word, and by deed. From this day forward, I invite you as 8th grade graduates of FXW to put into practice the love you felt here in this school and to go out into the world and share the love with someone. Because every day of your life, you will always encounter someone who desires to be seen, valued, and loved. And to remind yourself of that reality, put your hand on your heart and realize you also want to be seen, valued, and loved. And change begins with you.
The FXW Legacy Awards honor many of the school's founders and recognize students in the graduating class who make an extremely positive contribution to the FXW community. The recipients of these awards are voted on by the 8th grade teachers.
The Mary Ellen Karen Mission Award was developed to honor the founding principal of FXW, Mary Ellen Karen, given to 8th grade students who promotes and exemplifies the mission and philosophy of FXW. Identifying qualities of this award are kindness, friendship, inclusivity, integrity, and faith-based values, embodies the charisms of FXW on a daily basis. That's in academics, service, faith, and inclusion. There are 2 winners of this award, and they are Rafa Mendiola and Tyson Rozier. The Father Bob McLaughlin Spirituality Award was developed to honor one of FXW founding pastors, Father Bob McLaughlin, former pastor of Holy Name Cathedral. He felt passionately about FXW, deeply revered our interfaith mission, and worked tirelessly to make FXW a welcoming place for children of all backgrounds. Each year, a student of Catholic faith and a student of a faith other than Catholic are honored with this award. The identifying qualities of this award are a deep sense of spirituality, a demonstrated commitment to their faith, like active in their faith, and deeply respectful of all faith traditions. There are 3 winners to this award, and they are Samia Bass, Sydney Heathfield, and Sophia Thasson. The Father Jack Wall Humanitarian Award was developed to honor the founding pastor of FXW, Father Jack Wall, pastor emeritus of Old St. Patrick's Church. The recipients of this award have enhanced the spiritual culture of FXW due to their great commitment to helping others for the love, of giving. Typically, the 8th graders who qualify for this award go above and beyond service hour requirements. The identifying qualities of this award are serves a community in the spirit of wanting to help others, selflessness, I'm butchering today, I'm so sorry. Generously donate time, talent, and energy to teachers and classmates alike. There are 2 winners of this award, and they are Nyla Kapoor and Victoria Sachs.
The Maggie Daly Citizenship Award honors one of FXW founders, Mrs. Maggie Daly, former First Lady of Chicago. It recognizes the 8th grade student who makes FXW a better place to be in various positive ways. Identifying qualities of this award are leadership both in and out of school, respectful, helpful, and positive demeanor, significant contributions to FXW through involvement in extracurriculars, arts, clubs, sports, and more. There are 3 winners of this award: EVA Ehuema, Liam Goodman, and Desiree Smith. The Commander's Award of Excellence is given to the graduates who have gone above and beyond in all aspects of their education: academics, extracurriculars, service, social interactions, and faith. These students truly stand out in every possible aspect of their experience at FXW. Identifying qualities of this award are outstanding performance in all academic courses, significant extracurricular involvement, strong faith and a passion for service, dedication to inclusivity and the mission of FXW. There are 3 winners of this award. The winners are Nina Agarwal, Annabelle Arvin, and Sophia Spaldon.
It has been my distinct privilege to co-advise this amazing group of student council leaders who serve this year's school student council, 19 class representatives, 4 executive officers, work together throughout the year to amplify the voices of their classmates, organize and execute school-wide events, and lay the groundwork for new initiatives that we hope to implement next year. Will all of the representatives from grades 4 through 8 please stand to be acknowledged? Thank you for your service.
I now have the pleasure of inviting our current executive officers to come forward. Each of these Jaguars has given of their time and talent to help us be a successful team this year. Nina, EVA, Desi, and Carson. I got a little more to say about them. The 4 of you have demonstrated initiative, leadership, flexibility, and follow-through. You have embodied the characteristics of a confident and successful student leader. On behalf of a grateful learning community, thank you for your service this year.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff and Ms. Wentz, for a good afternoon. My name is Nina Agarwal, and as your Student Council President, I would like to congratulate all the candidates who campaigned in this year's election. Will all the candidates for office for the 2025-2026 school year please stand up and be recognized? My fellow officers will join me in announcing next year's executive team. Candidates, as your name is called, please come forward so we can pass the torch to you.
Hello, my name is Carson Frazier, and I have served you as Student Council Treasurer. It is my privilege to announce that your new treasurer for the 2025-2026 school year is Isha Shah. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Desiree Smith, and I have served as your Student Council Secretary. I am honored to announce that your new secretary for the 2025-26 school year is Aaliyah Swasborn.
Hello, my name is Eva Huama, and I've served your Student Council Vice President. I'm excited to announce that your new Vice President for the 2025-2026 school year is Margaret McGuire.
And finally, I am pleased to announce that FXW's new Student Council President for the 2025-2026 school year is Macy Tuckett. Okay. Congrats, Macy. Macy is not here today, but we are excited to celebrate her next week. Yay!
Hi. I haven't even done anything yet. Okay. My job as the principal at the HNC campus at this point in the ceremony of recognition is to share my words of wisdom with the students who will be graduating on Sunday. And since I started in this role, I've decided to have my words of wisdom take the form of a letter. So today, you will hear me lead a letter written from me, from the heart, to the 8th grade graduates. But before I begin, I want to address the families that are here today, seeing their 8th grade students getting ready to graduate on Sunday. So as I looked at our list of graduates, I realized that for some of you, this will be the second or even third time that you've heard me speak at this beautiful ceremony. So first of all, that really puts the pressure on me to come up with something original. Second of all, whether this is your first time or your third time, I want you to know that I do typically use this. I've warned some of you, I use this as an opportunity to tug at the heartstrings of 8th graders. I try to draw a few tears. I really like to remind the kids, how much they love FXW, even though they're excited about their high school opportunities. And every class is special in their own way, and this class that I've known since 4th grade is certainly no exception. But if I had to predict years ago or even a year ago, I never would have predicted that I would say this class is the one that is really emotionally attached to FXW. Like, the class of 2025 has plenty of suggestions on their way out, but they have not been shy. They are devastated to leave here. So I'm going to take it easy on them today. I know we brought Kleenexes over, but I'm going to take it easy on them today because the tears have already been flowing. I'm going to go ahead and dive into my letter, but I'm going to try to keep it a little bit light for you. I promised some of you I would. Okay. Dear class of 2025, I've known many of you for a very long time, and some of you I've met more recently. Whether it was 1 year or several years at FXW, your tears over the past several weeks at events like the Clap Out at OSP tell us you know that something profound happened at FXW while you were here. But I promised you I would keep this light. So I'm going to talk about a TV show. I've seen the TV show Lost 3 times now. I watched it in 2004, which is a really long time ago. It was before I had children, and it was so long ago that you had to wait a week in between episodes to watch them. There was no binge watching. I watched it again in 2019 with my son Thomas, and this past week I just finished watching it again with my daughter, and it's a total of 120 episodes, so it's a pretty big time commitment. So I'm not going to give any spoilers today in case you decide to watch it, but I will say the most brilliant thing about this, I think the most brilliant thing about this show is how hard the viewer has to work to create meaning. Even 15 years after the finale, enthusiasts debate which themes are actually the most prominent. So there's lots of reasons standing up here not to talk about a TV show like Lost when I could be sharing my incredibly valuable words of wisdom. But I'm talking about it today because I believe this show has a really strong theme of interconnectedness. Throughout the 120 episodes, viewers unpack this theme. And I'm going to say this very carefully. All individuals are part of a larger web of human lives where every single moment, no matter how small it seems, can have a significant impact. So graduates, look around and consider how the class of 2025 is unique. Look at how you are a unique web of human lives that created the entire story that brought you here to this very moment. All 92 of you are part of a narrative. You each have your own stories, and only you know which cast members played a pivotal role in moving your plot forward and who was more of a supporting character. But all of you were there. I'm going to go back to Lost. So I would suggest that the characters on Lost who were strangers before the plane crashes, and don't worry, that's in the opening scene, so it's not a spoiler, They needed to find more than food and shelter and basic survival supplies. They also needed to find their own individual identities and accept that human connection requires the vulnerability of relying on others. This is the first graduating class that I have seen openly hurting about leaving FXW. And I really had to think about this. Is that really what makes this class special? And I'll come back to that. So I think that's one place to come from. And I think there's other categories that I would use for graduates. And having been an educator for a long time, I'm going to kind of boil it down. Sometimes outwardly, eighth graders will tell us how they're really over FXW and they're just out of here and they're done with this place. But I think at the core of that, when we go back to emotions like Father Andy was talking about, there's a little bit of anger. And anger's just an emotion. It's not bad, it's not good, it just is. And then the third category would be ambivalence. So some eighth graders have completely contradictory ideas about graduating. They feel the grief of leaving FXW, and they also feel optimism for what lies ahead. So now I need all of you to think for a minute, and I'm not going to make you raise your hands, but I want you to think. Which category would you put yourself in? Are you hurting about leaving FXW? Do you feel a little bit angry? Or do you feel ambivalent? Do you feel a combination of contradictory emotions? Or, since you don't have to answer and it's not a real test, you can choose none of the above. Regardless of your choice, all these emotions are really complicated to feel. And the situation is not going to change. You are going to graduate on Sunday. But here's why I think the class of 2025 is so emotionally intelligent. You're acknowledging and accepting all your feelings. That is how I know joy is waiting for you in your journeys beyond FXW. Embrace the passion that brings tears to your eyes. Take pride in the deep thought each of you is giving to the complex nature of leaving a place you love while also feeling excited about a new chapter. Own the fact that you are interconnected. I will close my letter to you in a similar way I've done in previous years. You are and always will be the FXW graduating class of 2025. And while each of you are unique and special individuals, what you have together is a greater gift. While your lives will continue to go in different directions, the spirit of what you created as a class will live on forever. Go into the world and show others the value of acknowledging every emotion and being interconnected. Together, you made the FXW experience. It isn't a building, a classroom, or anything you can see or touch or feel. It's the spirit. It's the spirit of the class of 2025 that you created together, and it's remarkable. From the bottom of my heart, because I knew each of you, my story has been uniquely impacted. Please join me in welcoming Michael Kennedy, head of school. Congratulations. I love you guys.
Can we give Mrs. Fitchett a nice round of applause? Wonderful. And we would be remiss if we did not thank our partner pastors who guide us spiritually, Father Andy, Father McGrath, and Father Greg. Thank you very much. At this time, we would like to acknowledge our families for whom this is their last or only child graduating on Sunday. When I call your name, will you please stand in your place and stay standing to allow us to recognize you? I would ask that, in the interest of time, please hold your applause and please direct your attention to the back of the program while we read those who started 11 years ago. 21 years
the Faye Curry family. "17 years, the Rose family. At 16 years, the Cherians, the Cooks, and the Amaras. 15 years, the Brooks family, Fernandez Leal, Goodman, and Thason families, 15 years. 14 years, Abakwu, Arvin, Fry, Gomez, and Paulson, 14 years. The Ummenhauers and the Scarbecks, 13 years. The Hamers, the Hiltzes, the McDermotts, and the Silvas, 12 years. And 11 years, the Eppses, Heathfields, Matisons, and Sangas. At this time, can I ask all of the families for whom this is your last or only child to stand and be recognized? And of course, all the parents of all the 8th graders, class of 2025, students, will you stand, make eye contact with your parents and guardians, and say thank you, and let's applaud them all.
Please remain standing, 8th graders.
8th graders, if I could have your attention, we'd like to offer a special blessing of you. And so, family members, friends, if you would join us in this blessing by extending both of your hands in blessing over our 8th graders, the class of 2025. Good and gracious God, Spirit of life, bless these graduates of the Francis Xavier Ward School, this exceptional and special class of 2025. Remind them always of how much they are loved. Give them wisdom and courage to face life's challenges. Provide them with right judgment as they go forward to navigate the world around them. Encourage them to generously share their compassionate hearts with all they encounter, just as they have done both within and outside the walls of FXW. Loving God, allow these graduates to recognize the gifts that you have blessed them with and embolden them to use these gifts to make the world a better place. And Creator God, grant to the parents of the FXW class of 2025 the courage and confidence to guide their children in holy and loving ways. And, oh God, we ask you all this in your holy name. Amen. Amen. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Could you please face your fellow 1st through 7th grade FXW students one last time?
A word's just a word till you mean what you say, and love isn't love till you give it away. We all got a gift, yes, something to give to make a change. Send it on and on. One hand can heal another, be a part, reach a heart. Just one spark starts the fire. With one little action, the chain reaction will never stop. it strong, shine a light and send it on. Just smile and the world will smile along with you. That small act of love that's meant for one will become two. If we take the chances to change circumstances, imagine all we can do if we send it on and on. Just one hand can heal another, be a part, reach a heart. Just one spark starts the fire. With one little action, the chain reaction will never stop. Make it strong, shine a light and send it on. Send it on. There is power in all of the choices we make. So I'm starting now, there's not a moment to wait. A word's just a word till you mean what you say. And love isn't love till you give it away. Send it on and on. Just one hand can heal another. Be a part, reach a heart. Just one spark starts a fire. With one little action, the chain reaction will never stop. Make it strong, shine a light and send it on and on. Just one hand can heal another. Be a part, reach a heart. Just one spark starts a fire. With one little action, the chain reaction will help things start. Make it strong, shine a light and send it on. Shine a light and send it on.
Okay, if I could, 8th grade parents, if you guys could hold for just a second, and then HNC students, you're going to stay put for a little while. We're going to get the OSP kids out of here as quickly as we can so they have a chance of making their dismissal time. All right, fourth grade, as soon as OSP clears the aisle, if you would start heading this way to go through the courtyard. So 4th grade, if you would start standing up. Okay, that's what I figured.